The City of Soundsville is the name of this podcast, and as always, I am your host, Shadowstreak, and joined by me is...
RJ App.
Yeah, it's that guy. Alright, so we're going to open up this episode with some immediate news. RJ and I were talking right before we started this recording about if there was any news or not, and RJ said there was this thing, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but before we go any further, let's start recording so we can get my reaction to whatever this is live. So what am I searching?
So there's
RJ?
these toys that's collabing with the Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
They mixed the reboot branding with the original branding again, but why don't you search it
course
up?
they did.
Powerpuff Girls Fuggglers.
Okay. Fugglers?
Yeah, Fugglers.
What the hell am I looking at?
It's new official merchandise, just what everybody asks for.
Why is this a thing?
It's awesome, no?
No, it's not. I don't get the appeal
That's what
at all.
That's just what the fans wanted.
Are these a thing? What the
I
hell are
suppose so. That's what I was
Fugglers?
like. Are these what the kids are into? Maybe they're not a thing in America.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe they're an international thing.
Maybe they're into
There's
it.
SpongeBob and
I don't
Patrick
know, but,
things
like,
too. Those are pretty ugly too.
I've literally never heard of these before in my life, and I hate them.
What's more shocking is that the official license is like given to something that like that's supposed to be fucking ugly. That's a little
Yeah, that's literally how they got the name.
well, sure,
obviously.
but like it's
Fugly's
kind of
been
funny
a
that
thing
the
for a
actual
while, but wow.
it's kind of funny that the Cartoon Network logo is on that.
Well, if it's tied to the reboot, it makes sense.
Well, I will say this actually. I just remembered something else. There's two pop figures that came out. One has Bubbles from the very first episode being afraid by a roach. Yes, she has her pigtails from the reboot, but it's based on a specific pose from the 1998 series. I mean, I'm not really a pop figure fan, but you know, interesting choice. And they also have Liberty Bell, Harmony Bunny, and Mange. That's a pack too. That's like, you know, pop figures have very cool licenses. I love a lot of the stuff that they make. I just don't care for the designs. That's my problem with them.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see the appeal personally. Like, I understand from the perspective, like, you know, there's plenty of stuff you could collect. You know, I'm a collector of Lego sets myself. Or like, you know, video games, right? Like I get collecting, but like of anything I could collect, I just don't see the appeal of collecting those. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I know some people would go crazy over them, and it's like, that's great. You know, I'm happy other people see value in something that I don't. But the whole reason why like I like something like Lego or video games is because not only is there like a collector value, but also there's the fact that like I can build a Lego set. I can play a video game, you know, a figure. And this isn't just pop figures. This is figures in general. For me, it's like the closest thing I think I'd ever get is like if I wanted to collect Amiibo, which I don't. But if I did, at least those would have a function with games. But like, I just don't get the appeal of collecting something that just sort of sits there and does nothing, if you know what I mean. Again, I'm not knocking anyone that likes that stuff, but just for me, I've just never seen the appeal, you know. Because even with something like trading cards, like if I was still into Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh card collecting like I was when I was younger, like you can play a game with those cards. You can trade them. Like, and maybe you could trade figures too, I guess. I don't know. But like, I don't know. I guess I just don't see the appeal of like figures the way I do a lot of other things. So, I mean, these don't really, not only that, but I mean, the fact with these figures is like almost all of them pull from the reboot rather than the original, because nobody on this planet can be bothered to separate the two. And so they're all incompetent hacks as far as I'm concerned, that don't actually care about the property. Shots fired. But yeah.
Sheesh, buddy, get a life. I agree with you, but I just I wanted to say that.
Yeah, no, I know. It was a fitting quote that real fans of the show would understand.
They're not. I guess like the best recent piece of merchandise was that cookbook, if you remember that.
Yeah, but that was like a year and a half ago.
Was it?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think it was that long ago. It's been out though.
Weren't there Nike shoes, or was that a year ago too?
That might have been a year ago. Yeah.
Bro, I don't remember nothing.
You don't remember nothing?
It is October 2025 when we're recording this, not to date it or anything. RJ, we started this podcast 2 years ago. We're in season 2. What is going on? Oh my god.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm looking at somebody making an octi-shaped pizza. Wow.
That's delicious.
Wow. It looks something. Oh gosh, it's so good. They have the oranges for the Amoeba Boys.
Mm,
Accidental sloppy
that's
joes.
fitting.
Oh, the mayor's wife's
That's
smoking
very
chocolate
fitting.
chip cookies, but they're fresh. Anyway, so that's a cool piece of merchandise.
Anyways,
but let's get to the episode.
cool.
Let's get to the actual
I
show.
suppose so. All right, yes. So today we are in the almost end of season 2. We've got 2 episodes left to go. This, of course, being the first of those 2. Today we're going to be talking about season 2, episode 12, consisting of Speed Demon and Mojo Jonesin. The former, of course, being Speed Demon, one of the most recognizable episodes of the entire show. The one that everyone cites is, oh my gosh, this show is so dark. Can you believe how dark the Powerpuff Girls got? Yeah, it's dark. They go to hell. Wow. We'll talk more about this in a second, but to give you the premise, basically, the Powerpuff Girls end up racing each other home so fast that they end up flying 50 years into the future because they went so fast that they approached the speed of light. And time passes differently the faster you go. This is a proven scientific fact. Of course, Einstein's theory of relativity, and all that noise. So basically, the girls go 50 years into the future, where they find that him has taken over, creating an absolute mass dystopia of nothingness. It's just a complete wasteland. You know, most of the characters like Ms. Bellum and the professor and Miss Keene, they've all aged. They all have had to cope with the loss of the girls as well as the rest of Townsville citizens, as the girls kind of go around exploring a very morbid future without them, and kind of the result of their inability to save the day, where that kind of winds up. Eventually they come across him. Him just kind of sort of mocks them and they fight a little bit. There's a lot of psychological torment in there, and then the girls end up freaking out and flying back home by flying backwards through time. Don't know how that works. And they wind up back with the professor, and they're like, we can never leave. The end.
Yeah, that's... Well, I guess first
So,
off...
I will say right off the bat, I just want to kind of get this out of the way. There's a lot to say about this episode, so I'm sure we'll be talking about this one in depth for a little bit. But right off the bat, I just need to get it off my chest, get it out of the way. Yes, I know this episode's dark. Who doesn't at this point? I feel that so many people have flipped out over this episode being dark at this point in time that, like, at this point, it's just like, okay, I don't care anymore. I don't care that it's dark. Yes, it's dark. Whoop-de-doo. It's not surprising. It's not shocking. It's a good episode, and I like the episode for what it is, but, like, I don't find the darkness in Powerpuff Girls appealing anymore. You know, 10 years ago, yeah, somewhere around 2013, 2014, that era, I was just as enamored, but over time, it feels like everyone's beaten that dead horse so much to the point where it's like, I don't even care that it's dark anymore. Like, I evaluate it for what it is as an episode, and as an episode, I think it's very well put together and very creative, with a lot of like the background set designs and direction and everything like that. But I've done enough talking, so I'll let RJ kind of chime in. Where do you stand with this episode, RJ?
Obviously, it's thoroughly enjoyable, but it's like the ending is a little weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I suppose this
It
is
is.
just a Twilight Zone-y episode where, I mean, I haven't watched the Twilight Zone in a while. Like, maybe those don't really have resolutions as much as they're just like explorations of an idea. And it's like I'm not really like hung up.
Would not know.
I'm not really hung up on I'm not hung up on logic too much with the show, or like, I don't care that much. But it's a little weird that they can't ever leave.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that, but like, sorry to be negative up front. I just had to get that out of the way. But like, obviously I enjoy this one. Yeah, I noticed episodes worded by Charlie Breen are like really dark for whatever reason, and funny at the same time. And this is definitely one of those reasons why I was like, I believe I've said it before, but like I feel like, I don't know, maybe like the peak of the series might be like the second half of the second season and like the third season for me.
Yeah,
There's just like a
I
really
get
like the
that.
filmmaking, like the humor, the writing is just like at 100% at this point, kind of for the most
Yeah,
part.
we've definitely hit the show at its stride, and to complement this episode because there's a lot to really give it. One of my favorite things about this episode is it feels like it. A lot of season two didn't feel as kind of explorative or kind of, I don't want to know, I'm trying to think if there's like a better word, but like the thing I admired about a lot of season one, especially the back half of season one,
Hmm.
um that I never really picked up on until I made my video and we made this podcast, was a lot of season one was very experimental and did a lot of very like unique and interesting things in the way it kind of portrayed each episode's events. So like for example, Icesaur had the heating effects with like, the waviness of the screen, and like Paste Makes Waste had Elmer kind of glowing, and they did like that neon green glowing outline to make everything look radioactive. And then there's like Mime for a Change, where they took away the color and the sound, and there was like a lot of and Bare Facts with the perspective. Like there was all those different episodes that did a lot of creative things that I feel like some of season two was lacking in the front half. But then there are a couple episodes here in the back half where it feels like that sort of comes back. And this, of course, being, I think, the most noticeable one of all of them, just because of the sheer amount of like effects that they kind of include in this episode. Between, obviously there's the high speed chase sequence where the girls are basically racing each other. I shouldn't say chase, but race. Where the background is this 3D CGI generation. It's not a
Before they
2D
were really
image at
doing
that
that
point.
on
It's like a
television,
warped.
because like it's not that surprising with
Yeah.
3D and 2D shows now. I mean, like,
Yeah, but back then, I mean, it was new
yeah,
technology.
Futurama was 1999, but that's a primetime show.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this.
it's just really, I'm surprised like they were even able to do it. But yeah, I believe there's a company called Savage
Yeah.
Frog that did it, that put it together.
Mhm.
Yeah, and because it's just
Yeah,
an
and like I
effect
mean
and
they
not
have like
characters, it ages well.
yeah, and it's like, I mean, cuz like they do the basically the time tunnel essentially, where they kind of distort everything, and it's this really cool effect. And then like they do a freeze frame in the middle, which is really cool, where they kind of just pan across each of the girls in this like frozen stasis to really just have you admire the spectacle of it, which again at the time it was unique. It was not something you'd expect to really see. And then like there's like this color change effect as they approach, the 50 years, where it sort of changes from this positive light blue to like that deep orange, that burnt orange color.
Yeah,
And then like you get the shot from like the outside perspective where like you see the sky, basically there's this 3D generated like effect that just kind of shows this what con this concavity that appears, and the girls like warp through this funnel, which looks very very early, like very early 2000s late 90s 3D effect. But it was, it was cool, it was interesting, it was a unique way to kind of portray that sort of warp through time that I really appreciate. It's very different, very special.
yeah. And like that's the other thing that's like just that CG, like that's what's cool about this series, because like it's like this Hanna Barbera looking show, but they're experimenting with new filmmaking. So like yeah, you're really like that really stops you when you watch it for the first time. It's like, whoa, wait, what's happening here? And I also like the little like
Yeah.
I like the little time travel joke that they do is like, so Buttercup technically says, "I told you I'd win." Buckles is like, "You already said that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always appreciate.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing. Um, Another thing I really like about the episode, again, is like, just to go back to it, is like the backgrounds. I think a lot of the shots that kind of like the show makes it a point and goes out of its way to just kind of present you with these very ominous establishing shots of like the city in decay, the girl's house in decay, Pokey Oaks is in decay, and you see the girls kind of fly through this barren wasteland. There's not any life to be seen anywhere. The sky is a deep red. There's this ominous kind of like musk that kind of floats through the air as well. And the music, again, shout outs to Venable,
Yeah,
phenomenal. I think the atmospheric music that accompanies this imagery, it's so unique, and it is unreal. It's unlike any other episode in the entire series, just bar none. It's such a standout thing, and it's like it's no wonder that so many people gravitate to this episode, because it is super special. Like it is so different and unexpected from what you would normally get out of the show, and it really sets the tone for just how like menacing and sinister him can be as a villain. Like this is the most extreme him ever really comes off as, and it's like it just shows like this show could get as intense as it wanted to, and I appreciate that and I respect that.
And this is like him, like it's basically like the concept of him, like, you know, he's just being like, I think Craig McCracken compares him to Q from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And like, you know, which is funny because I believe, isn't there a character in My Little Pony that's essentially Q
voiced by John Delancey?
Yeah, and he
yeah.
I believe he's there
Discord.
too. So like Lauren and Craig love that character, but
yeah,
you know, but he's just like he basically just wants to screw with them, because like I think like I feel like Octa Evil, he has more of a plan. Like he's trying to break them up. He literally just wants to screw with them. That's literally it.
Yep.
And like, you know, obviously a fun part of this episode is like the Charlie Bean and the other writers are clearly having fun writing messed up stuff, which is the thing too, because like when people say like, you know, how dark this episode is, it's also, it doesn't mean it's serious. And I mean, it might come off like differently when you're a kid, because you might take it very seriously when you're a kid, but like now I was like they're enjoying drawing really gross versions of the characters. So I think they found this funny, even though it's very messed up. Like you can't really take the line "the whole world went to heck." Like it has weight, but like that's also a joke. It's a very fun joke.
Yeah, and another thing is like I can definitely tell, like, again, this is more of like just a fun concept of like what is the worst possible outcome if the girls were to ever fail or disappear or whatever. Like what is the worst thing that could happen? And it's like, yeah, this is probably it. It's a very nice like just exploration or a what if scenario. Like you mentioned like Twilight Zone-esque, and it's like, yeah, I sort of see that, you know. This definitely has a very like kind of Twilight Zone-y feel as far as like an alternate reality or some other, you know, timeline where everything kind of does, you know, it goes to heck. you know?
An exploration of a hellish concept or heckish concept.
Yeah. But it's also cool because, again, like I love how this episode just establishes the magnitude of the threat that him could and does pose. You know, he's never ever really this menacing ever again in any of the last 4 seasons.
Really, no, because he's going to jail with everybody else. He's eating ice cream.
Yeah. You know, there's a couple episodes where he does do some sinister stuff here and there still. But I really feel that this and Tough Love are like the two most evil things him ever does.
Paranoia he's pretty evil in Paranoia.
Well, yeah, that was one of the ones I was alluding to. Oh, I do like and appreciate Paranoia as well, because that definitely leans into the
and by the way,
psychological side.
I don't have a problem with him being wacky. Just putting that out there, but like but you know, it's fun to see him be really evil too. Because I think Craig's statement was like you could go really goofy with him, but like you almost don't want to sometimes.
Yeah, no, definitely. One of my favorite things I think Craig has ever said about this episode, and unfortunately because his the website that he said this on, he closed his account, so we don't have a record of it, was somebody asked him what happened to all of the other villains in this episode, and his response was they all died.
And
which I just love.
I totally know, knowing his Twitter, I know that he just said that with like a period at the end.
Yeah, basically they all died.
It's so fun.
I'm like, yes, I love that attitude.
I love like his
it's so
Twitter
good.
Always like once again just had just like it was so deadpan and funny.
It really was.
Which is like it's like I think he knew it was funny. I think he knew it was funny. He's a, you know, he makes funny things. I just saw like somebody screenshotted the question, which is like, this isn't cool, but like somebody asked him, like, will you have Blossom and Buttercup kiss in the reboot? And it's like his answer is just no. Just
Oh my god, what the heck?
It was just like he didn't have to apply for that, but it's just so funny that he just said no to it.
He just had to say no.
Because the audacity
Oh
of
my
me
god.
this.
People are unhinged, dude.
I know.
I don't get
It's
it.
so unhinged. It's just he's like, well, no.
Like, what compels a person
That
to
is-
ask that question?
What bravado do you have? It's like, I'm just gonna ask them this, And I fully expect an answer.
I don't. I feel so bad for him. I really do. Oh man.
When he was axed on what's the new site everybody Blue Sky? When he was axed on Blue Sky, why he left, his response was common sense.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so relevation. Craig McCracken, the guy who makes funny cartoons, is funny.
Whoa, no way.
Yeah, crazy, right?
That's wild.
Crazy. And
The funny cartoon man makes funny cartoons.
yeah. But they're really pushing with some of the characters, like Professor Utonium. Like that's mostly just funny. By the way, like you said, the lab, the shot of him in his lab is so beautiful. Because like how do you make such eye candy in such a dark episode?
I love that panning shot
fun.
of the girl standing at the door, and then it just panning down at this diagonal angle, and just seeing all the foreground and the background just having different layer. It's so good. Yeah. It's so good. They really went all out with boarding. Again, a lot of the establishing shots are just so compelling.
And it's a very old 50s horror thing where it's I'm warning you, and they all leave very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they killed the mayor in this.
Yeah.
That by far was the most shocking.
They did. The mayor's dead.
they just killed him. Which by the way, this is
considering the mayor. Well, consider this, RJ. In season 1, we learned that the mayor was around when silent films were a thing.
Sure.
So to know that was a 70-year give or take gap. The mayor's not going to be 120 years old, dude.
I mean, he was rather old in the 50s. Yeah. And also, I mean, do you think he was? I feel like he got captured though. I don't think he died of old age.
No, he definitely died.
You think so? I mean, I'm sure he's close to death in the series because I mean, season 5 and 6. I think I think he's starting to go a little bit.
That's where he started losing it.
I feel somebody brought that up. Is I think the hair was just going a little senile there, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right.
and yeah, this is the Miss Bellum thing, which I was wondering if that was Tom doing that, but I think it is Jennifer Martin.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Which very interesting angle that they drew.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that got approved. Well, I suppose nobody at the network saw the finished episode or something. I have no idea. I really wondered because they let them get away with a lot on the show, but I do wonder if somebody got in trouble for this one. Somebody had to get a talking to.
If there's an episode that they should have gotten in trouble for, RJ, it's the ones after these two.
Oh yeah, you're right. Gosh, what an evil season of children's television.
Seriously, I mean, we had talked about Coup de Grace not too long ago. That episode literally has a real gun held up to the mayor's head.
There's a
real
in that.
one.
I mean, oh gosh, yeah.
We saw real smoking. I mean,
yeah, and I guess to be honest,
that was
this peak of
well past that was well past the establishment of no drugs in kids cartoons era.
Yeah, this was the peak of getting stuff on under the radar, for this show at least.
It really was.
Season 3, which is by the way not a bad thing because I mean there are other good things about this show, but this was this was the top because yeah exactly the second half of season 2 just has some stuff. It's geez, and we don't want to go too far with it because that's what everybody says. How did they get away with this? But how can you not bring it up also?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. And I always love the quote. I just stood there waving goodbye. The most gross we'll ever see Miss Keen drawn.
Mm-hmm.
She has eye crusts and all that. Gosh.
It's nasty.
And those do have to say, even before the dark stuff happens, they do a very good job of setting everything up. Obviously, the Miss Keen.
Oh, yeah.
The Miss Keen theory of time thing is funny. I there's a shot of Buttercup looking at the clock that I think is fun. And they start, it feels they're starting especially happy, the sky is blue all the colors are like bright and poppy. So like, total contrast for the rest of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Even the narrator's like just like being as indulgent as he usually is. Because he starts mentioning, I don't know, for whatever reason, like I don't know if that's padding or what at the beginning, because he mentions a talking dog and stuff like that. I just like anything the narrator said is good. And if you notice, Buttercup's name is written on the board, so she must have gotten a strike for something.
Probably.
Yeah. That's like
one thing. So here's something, and I want to actually hear your thoughts on this, because this is an observation I made that I've never seen anybody ever.
I feel like I know where this is going,
and maybe you've observed it. Well, if you know where this is going, what do you think I'm?
Are
about
you going to talk about the math?
No.
Oh, interesting. I thought you would have some criticisms about that math.
I have criticism about the fact that pi is wrong. But other than that, I don't know if you remember that, but on the board, pi is wrong.
I never noticed that. Oh, yeah, that is. You're right. That is wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No. Go back to the very first shot where Buttercup is looking at the clock, but it's over her shoulder, and you can see the sun out the window or whatever.
Okay.
RJ is looking at the episode in real time.
I mean,
I don't know if you figured this out. RJ always does this, and he's mentioned it before, but in case you're not aware, RJ is actually looking at the episode, and I go off of
Well, it's not.
Oh,
well, okay, wow. Way to discredit. I remember it, but like, there's just a visual.
I know you do, but I'm just saying you like to have it up as a frame of reference. But I don't need to, because usually, at least with season 1 and 2, we've recorded the episodes at the same time or within enough recency of me making my videos that I can go off of memory, because I had to see them like so many times over and over again just to make those vids. So anyway, are you looking at that shot?
Yeah.
What color is that map?
Wait, the shot where she's looking at the clock?
Not the shot of her with the clock and her rims. I'm talking the very first shot where the camera zooms out from the city through the window.
Oh.
And you see Buttercup over the shoulder.
It's a very dark red.
What color is that map?
Red.
I've never seen anybody point that out.
Huh. That is interesting,
Ever.
huh?
That is... I refuse to believe that's not intentional foreshadowing.
You know what? That is interesting, yeah. It didn't even read as a map to me. I didn't even spot it, to be honest, until you point.
I know, but that's the thing. It's like, think about it. I mean, again, we live in a world where I'm sure it exists somewhere, right? But how often have you ever seen a dark red map of the United States?
I think Miss Keenan.
You would never imagine if literally anybody ever was asked, what do you think of when you think of a map of the United States? No one's ever going to think of it in dark red.
Miss Keen's a communist.
You know, I understand there's like, okay, if you want to think like, if you think to like old maps, like those are like tan, brown, whatever. Some people will think of blue and green, or even like a color coded map where every state is a different color or whatever. But no one's ever going to think of a dark red map with slightly lighter red water like that. I refuse to believe that it isn't intentional. Double negative. I've never seen anybody in my 20 some years of being on the internet ever once make this observation.
Yeah, right. I never noticed it, so
that's what I'm. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed it, then like,
and I have no life, so
I think it's just. I just I'm cool. I'm cool like that. I just want to take credit for noticing something new in the show that's never been noticed on the internet before.
And you have nothing. You had nothing to do with creating this, right? Just the viewer.
Had nothing to do with creating it at all.
Okay, I see. Interesting. I like the contempt that the girls are showing for like for everybody, especially in the picture.
Honestly, the only reason I bring that up is because I felt proud of myself for being able to identify and observe something that, despite this episode being so over talked about as it is, no one, as far as I know, has ever pointed it out. I intentionally went out of my way and looked up as many videos as I could on YouTube to see if anybody else ever pointed it out. I couldn't find a single video where someone mentioned it.
Oh.
So I thought that was cool. There's still things to find and observe and notice in this show that haven't been observed in the 20 some years it's been around. And I didn't even notice this, like I said, until I was even writing my review. I had watched this episode for 20 years and never noticed it until I was writing my review a couple months ago. It's wild. I love this show. It's so cool.
That would save us like an
Um,
entire like all the episodes show that I love the show. It's so cool. That's our review.
yeah. Yep. That's our review. Yep.
I love like Bubbles, doing her impression of the mayor. I think they like it seems like a season 2, 3, like they're
Mhm.
just slowly starting to get tired of the mayor.
A little bit, yeah.
Like that laugh is like cutting, oh, like that is a mean laugh. And I always loved who you call it a slowpoke fathead.
Who you calling Slowpoke?
Fathead.
Fathead? Yeah,
Just a laugh.
Bubbles is on one, dude.
I always
Yeah.
loved. I think.
Another thing.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I feel is
No,
that a
go ahead.
crew member of the show that says slow down? That has to be one of the guys because I
Yeah, that's
is that Craig
isn't that
Hellman?
Don Shank?
Yeah, maybe Don Shank or Craig Hellman. Probably Don Shank. Yeah, because Don Shank does himself. In a
I
different
assumed that it
episode.
was. Well, Don Shank shows up in a bunch
Yeah,
of
he
season
does,
5
doesn't
and
he?
6 episodes, right?
Yeah, he's in.
Well,
Basically.
and like if you look at that character and you look at the season 2 one, like I'm pretty sure it's Don Shank.
Right. Dang, Don. I do love that. He probably just thinks there's a car speeding.
Yeah, right. Just a crotchety old man.
Slow down. It's not old man. Don't age this guy. Yeah. But yeah, the fight scenes like like in a way they're pretty simple, but like it's just very good storyboarding.
Mm-hmm.
Like that scene where like
It is.
they're like flying towards him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, against like to be honest, if you want all your fun screenshots and like t-shirts of him, like they're from a lot of them are from this episode or Tough Love.
Yeah.
It's like that's like that shows like the power of him is basically just like, are you finished? And you're right, he doesn't really go to this extreme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love him in this episode. He's just so menacing.
And his like, claw form, yeah.
The best part is like when he transforms, but like he doesn't even fight in it or anything. It's literally just an intimidation tactic.
Right.
It's such a cool design though.
It is, yeah. Which, if people were smart, they'd make toys. Well, actually, I guess that probably, I don't think that'd go well in the Bible Belt, having toys of this in the supermarket.
Probably not. Probs not.
I mean, I think even having him in the theme song is probably a bit much for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a Your Fault sequence. It's like, yeah, like the ending was a little weird, but like, that shot of them, like the girls, rotating outside of the Earth is very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always love that shot.
Yeah. And like you said, the Earth is red, like it was in the map.
Yep.
Which I guess leads me to believe that probably was intentional.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Him was already working his magic.
That's what I'm saying. It's really great. It's just really great foreshadowing. And again, it's something that just sits in the corner and no one really ever seems to pay notice to. But I'm convinced it was intentional.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, the only real, like, again, criticism I have is I agree with you with the ending. It's like, I don't know that that's the takeaway that this episode really should have had.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, it's not like it's like terrible or terribly mean, but it's like it's a little, I don't know, it's a little sad.
Yeah.
They can't go away for a weekend, not like a month, a weekend.
Yeah, right. But then again, I mean, daylight savings established that too a little bit, and that episode's garbage, so.
Oh, well, we already had this talk.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to do this to me again.
I'm not. But for those who may not know and are listening to this episode, go check out that episode.
Why would they? Well, maybe they did skip that one.
Maybe they skipped it. I don't know. Maybe this is someone's first episode of our podcast. In which case, welcome.
They just really.
We're happy you're
They
here.
just really love Satan.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yep.
And I do love like so the girls are all like they hug Professor, and I just remember I think Blossom just says like Emma Spellum had warts.
Yeah.
That was so fun when I spotted that out.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the narrator like teasing the audience, and it's like it shows how like how more bombastic the narrator got, because like he does like something similar in Monkey See Doggy Do, right? He's like
Mm-hmm.
he does the barking. He's like, "Ha, fooled you," and it's like very pleasant and cute. Now he says, now he's like, "Ha, psych." he has a lot more attitude. What's his line? He says, "I'm never driving over 95 or 10 or something." I love that. I love that. So
I think it's 55.
yeah, that makes more sense. I'm never driving over 55 again. I love that. Yeah, well, that's all I have to say about that. How do you think this stacks up compared to Tough Love?
I like this one more than Tough
Yeah, that's the
Love.
thing. Cause like Tough Love, I feel like probably is better as a story. I would say, but like
Mhm.
this is a little.
This one's more interesting because it's, again, the whole thing is, this is basically just a giant, like, what would happen, you know?
And also, this one is
It's very
like
interesting. It's a very
the art
interesting
direction
question
in
to
this one is
ask.
just a lot more interesting than Tough Love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tough Love is a little more standard looking.
Tough Love is very basic.
Yeah.
It's a very basic
It's a very
episode.
basic looking episode. Yeah. Like,
Well, basic looking and basic, like, just in terms of like setting and premise and everything. It's a very simple idea,
true.
you know. Whereas this is like, yes, it's a simple idea, but it's more like it's a very elaborate answer to a simple question.
Right.
Because, I mean, there's so much more that could be explored with this idea than just what this episode gave us. As far as like, what would the world look like? You know, that sort of idea. What we got was just the end result. But I mean, there's so much more that could branch off of this idea. This was just a glimpse, a snippet, so to speak.
And everything goes to heck.
Yep. Everything went to heck.
Yeah, so okay, well, I think that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's the first episode. The second episode, Mojo Jonesin. This is the not drug episode of the Powerpuff Girls. Basically, instead of centering around the Powerpuff Girls, this episode centers around four. Oh man, what? How is it? How does the episode word it? It's God, I forget how the episode words it. The show itself makes a comment on the fact that these characters are oddly, specifically. No, not that.
No? Oh.
The episode makes a comment where they say they're like, the show makes a minor jab at the fact that this cast is oddly, specifically diverse.
Yes, it was,
or something. I forget how they worded it.
Diverse and multi-ethnic superhero team.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah, like they're clearly poking fun at that. But basically, yeah, there's a group of 4 kids, and they want to be like the Powerpuff Girls, and Mojo Jojo offers them drugs to basically get superpowers, and the kids are like, yeah, this is awesome. And then Mojo's like, all right, now I need you to destroy the Powerpuff Girls. And the kids are like, sorry, my cat just jumped on my computer. The kids are like, yeah, we'll do it because we're hooked on drugs now. And then they basically almost kill the Powerpuff Girls, and then they're like, actually, we were wrong, we're sorry. And then the girls beat up Mojo at the end.
We're sorry, we were hooked up on drugs. I'm Mary.
Shut up, Mary. Shut up.
So yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
So like,
your excuses.
What did you think about this episode as a kid?
I hated it. I hated this episode.
I didn't understand it. I think it's hilarious to me now.
I wanted to watch. Yeah, it's not as bad to me now either. As a kid, I hated it because I wanted to watch the Powerpuff Girls. I didn't want to watch no-name kids.
Yeah, I didn't really get the humor of it.
That was my reason. Yeah. I wanted to watch the Powerpuff Girls, not random schmucks.
Because I was like, you know,
I hated this episode.
Yeah, I didn't hate it, but like, I was just like, I didn't. I mean, irony is a little harder to grasp, which is ironic because that was the issue when the show was like, when they were talking about greenlighting the show. I know the president of Cartoon Network was like, kids don't really get irony. She thought the show was too ironic.
Yeah.
But like this one, I guess actually was probably too ironic for me to understand. Mm-hmm. But now I mean, I think this is really funny now. I think the beginning goes on a little bit, but the beginning could probably be a little tighter, but
yeah, I think one of my favorite lines in this episode is where blonde-haired Tom Kenny goes, "Man, what I wouldn't give to get some chemical X right now."
He's literally tweaking.
Yeah, he literally is.
Yeah, the people
not even subtle.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people who like you know, who are on the cartoons getting away with things, like nobody talks about this one. This is again a heinous half hour of kids television, because like I'm sure like they could position it as, you know, this is where we take on a very serious issue, but like obviously this show that they're not being sincere about this at all.
No, not at all.
And these are kids specifically coming from the 80s and 70s, where like, very moralizing. Like the diversity comment, like I don't think that's really the same thing about complaining about stuff being woke now, because they're coming, they're definitely they're really poking fun at Captain Planet and after school specials, which is like they're a lot more clever about diversity now, but like I think a lot of those like those Dare, or like the Dare specials, they had that cartoon All Stars thing. They're very like
I remember that.
They're very checklisty, because like they usually do have there's some kid in a wheelchair, and like multiple ethnicities, but like it's very it's there's not a lot of thought or authenticity put into it, which is why and they're also they weren't associated with fun cartoons. So that's where that comment comes from. So just a very edgy, which I yeah, very funny to me now. And like, so they bring back Mary. I know you don't like Mary, but like her voice is horrible.
No, she's annoying. Her voice is horrible. She's so annoying.
On purpose. It's purposely horrible. It's just like sheesh. And it's not a nice design. If she's like 5 years old, like that's a crazy design and voice. They just did her dirty.
I can't stand it, dude. I can't. So dirty.
Yeah, especially it's like so they had her in Ice Sword, but like they're really just making her like very annoying. So I'm Blossom. Whoosh. Like I just like they're just talking, and like there's just like this obnoxious line reading, just like, yeah, that's what I want to have.
Oh God, RJ, that just made me cringe. Jesus.
No, that's literally verbatim how she says it. I think they're just having fun with like how crappy these characters are.
And those zappy eyes.
Them lasers.
Oh yeah.
They just don't understand. Yeah, they don't understand the token kid slang. It's just like I love Mojo. Mojo just gets him by blowing. He's just blowing air into his hands. He's so stupid in this. And like, Mary Tarzan's, what do you want, you stranger? And it's like this extreme.
You stranger.
This is very extreme.
Well, my favorite thing about this episode is at the very end of the episode, they're like, and that's why you shouldn't talk to strangers. Like, that's the moral. That's the moral they're trying to pass off as being. That's their excuse. They're like, nope, this had nothing to do with drugs. Just don't talk to strangers.
That's their excuse. That's an excuse for making this. I can't believe.
No, their excuse was, man, Mojo must have put something funny in that Chemical X.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense why he turned so quickly. They had to put that in. I don't think that was Chemical X. It was so-called Chemical X, right?
Yeah.
It was something. It was something. It was like faulty Chemical X, like counterfeit Chemical X, basically.
It was drugs.
It was drugs. Like,
let's not beat around the bush here, RJ. It was drugs.
The funny thing is, like they're making a drug metaphor, which is like again, they could disguise it as them doing something moralistic, but like in some way, it's more shocking than some of the violent stuff. Mm. They're making jokes about characters being high, like. Yeah, the sequence of the kids flying around goes on a bit too long, I would say, but
agreed.
Even though I usually like those types of sequences in this show, but like. I don't know. I think that makes it feel more like an actual after-school special, less like a parody.
Right.
Just that part. Of course, Mary gets ice cream, which is just like that's the funny thing about like after-school special type shows, because like a very moralizing show like Fat Albert, but like apparently it's still okay. You're not supposed to lie. There's all these morals, but it's okay to to make fun of a fat person and them eating a lot at the same time. Just that funny. Mm. And by the way, I believe her original name in Ice Sword was Fat Mary.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. Because remember, I told you that storyboard. I'm pretty sure it's like, Fat Mary needs your help.
They can't do that. They can't do that, right?
I mean, they never got away with worse than Fat Mary, but like, jeez. Just very mean character.
Oh my God.
And I do love like Tom Kenny hit the humor in this very well. Like he definitely understood what they were making fun of in this.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think one of them, he's like, "Come on, gang, I have an idea." That is just such pattern dialogue from an after school special. it's like Scooby Doo-ish kind of, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let's split up, gang.
Yeah, come on, gang. And I guess Jennifer Hale is the is both of the girls in this. I believe.
Really?
Yeah, Kimberly Brooks I know is Kimberly Brooks is I don't remember what that kid's name is. Zappy Eyes.
You know,
Joey.
I wrote down all
Who
four of the kids'
cares? Who
names
cares?
for my video, and I don't remember any of them except
Jeff,
Mary because I hate
Jeff,
her.
Mary, Kim, and Joey. Did you roast Mary in your
Yeah,
video?
that's what it is. No, not
Oh,
really.
okay.
I
That's why
hate
it's
her
here. Let's go to that Joe overcoat and get some more.
though. Shut up, RJ. I can't with that voice.
She's
Oh my
It's so
gosh.
purposely horrible. I love it.
It's so terrible. It's so bad. I hate it.
Because it's just funny because there's not another character in the show that's like that. That's a funny thing about this show too. Because like sometimes the kids are like very like the Pokeox kids are like very young, like they look like kindergartners basically. And other ones they just look like elementary school like this.
At least they don't look like high schoolers.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. And also like,
Mm.
well, first off I have to say I do like there's flashing lights in this episode. And they maybe they should have done
Yep.
that, but it's cool looking. And like the thing about this is like Mojo's good in this too because like he's stupid and really evil in this too. Like that is the evil thing to do. And I especially
hook the kids on drugs.
yeah, and the line reading too is like it's funny. It's like I want to have fun too, and what would be really fun for me is like if you destroy the Powerpuff Girls, and it's just very good. Like it's almost like mildly scary. Like I'm not actually scared, but you know what I mean.
No, I get what you're saying. Just the tonal
Yeah, it has
shift
that
in Mojo's
unhinged
direction.
quality that's
Yeah.
like very good for a villain, and that's why the movie's great because he gets to do a lot of good
100%.
villain stuff in this.
Oh yeah.
And obviously, yeah, it's very they all immediately after the narrator says just say no, they all immediately agree to do it.
Sure. Yeah.
Like no doubts. Like yeah, okay, cool.
That was easy.
Yeah, Mo's just like good. And the narrator says, and they used to be such good kids. Yeah, and once again, yeah, Tom Kenny and Jennifer Hale especially really understood the assignment in this.
Oh yeah.
Like they knew exactly what they were parodying.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, it's really funny. Like it's just funny after school special humor that like a kid in a wheelchair is beating Bubbles up. It's just a fine kid in a wheelchair just ambushes.
Yeah. But as a kid, I hated that. The fact that these 4 rando kids I don't like at all beat the Powerpuff. I hated this episode because of that. I was like, I don't want to see the girls lose to these ordinary kids.
Right. And it's brutal too. Like they're kicking the crap out of it.
Yeah, needless to say, I didn't get this episode when I was younger.
Which is like, yeah. Once again, yeah, it's like I really do. The storyboard is just like beating the crap out of the Powerpuff Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was some enjoyment, and I want to question them on that because I know they enjoyed like beating up cute things. I think that was their joy of this.
100%.
And I'd very very interested to see like what some of the drawings in the office were of the characters. So I remember, what I think it was Owen Dennis, which is the Infinity Train creator. He's just like, yeah, I've seen some of like the doodles that those creators made, like when they weren't working on the show, and he didn't go into specifics at all. And it's like I really want to know what he's talking about. Well, actually, maybe I don't know because the late '90s was a different time.
They were probably
yeah. I probably don't want to see those. Maybe they're violent. I could deal with violent.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, those kids get the crap in the hardcore. Like they're really they're just evilly laughing at them, which is another thing I just find funny. It went bad so fast. And I also thought it was something that stuck out for me is like Mojo lifts up Blossom's arm, so lets it fall, like just checking if they're dead, basically, which is like it's like sheesh.
Mm-hmm.
That is harsh.
A little bit.
And I also love the later dudes comment.
Yeah.
And yeah, the whole ending is perfect, basically. Like the resolution where they defeat Mojo.
Mm-hmm.
It's a better them, finally getting Mojo than Coup de Grace.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
Because you were right that episode's ending is a little Well, actually, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's just poorly written. Actually, unfortunately, it's funny, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really work. And then like the mayor just it's actually very similar to that episode, but like yeah, he's just like, oh, if you destroy the Powerpuff Girls, go ahead, take over Townsville, it's all yours. It's very stupid. I really do wonder, like, do you think somebody actually did view this and be like, wow, this is a very beautiful moral that they touched on? Like, I wonder if somebody actually just took this sincerely.
It's a good question.
Yeah, I would think not. And I do remember I think what stuck with me as a kid is I probably did probably did remember "but is right and yours is about to get kicked." That's a good line from Blossom. It's
Mm-hmm.
witty. And then yeah, I remember like some people commenting like there was like a clip of this online and like people were just like the girls are so extra in this episode. Like did they had to punch him in the window, Buttercup had to, like they painstakingly show her going through all the stairs of the building. hitting,
Mm-hmm.
hitting him with like the street light and Bubbles pushing
And
the
then
chair.
Bubbles just moves the whole jail over.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So extra. It's like this thing. They really have fun beating people up.
Mm-hmm. But I love the creativity of
Yeah,
it.
it's so fun. I love him falling into jail. Always think that's funny when they do that. Yeah, and like that's very good music when like he's flying to jail. There's
Yep.
just some really nice action music that I always loved on rewatches. But yeah, basically
And that's why you shouldn't talk
yeah,
to
that's why you shouldn't talk
strangers.
to strangers. Mitch's design is a little odd in this episode, isn't it?
Yeah, I noticed that
I don't
too.
dislike it.
I'm glad it wasn't just
It's
me.
just off model.
Right.
Which you can't mess up an important character like Mitch Mitchelson. Cause
Of
I'm
course not.
stupid. That's a reference to another episode. If this happens to be your first
Yep.
episode. um yeah. But yeah, basically like they still kind of don't care. Like, like they're trying to do the moral, but they still even undercut it. Like they still think it's it's cool, like, having superpowers. So it was basically worth it. And the girls are just like, yeah, it's pretty cool. And yeah, like the narrator, you talked about I just love how they, what was it? It's like, I just love these stories where you laugh and learn.
And learn.
He's so condescending about it. It's so drenched in irony, and like I love the, it's just like he even's like, oh, what a great ending. Just like he's just so corny. I love him. Like he's head over heels on this. So yeah,
Yeah.
basically, we were indifferent or hated this episode as kids, and like, this is a very fun episode for me to rewatch now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, overall, I definitely appreciate the episode more with an older point of view than a younger
Yeah.
one.
Even more than like
Um,
Speed. Like I get more just because like I feel like I fully understood Speed Demon as a kid,
mhm.
because like, it's like
Yeah.
since this was Iron, I didn't I'm it's like I'm really getting to enjoy these like in recent memory. Like I'm getting to enjoy these for the first time.
Mhm.
Cuz that's the thing with this show too is like one of the reasons it's fun is like some of the episodes I responded to as kids or as a kid is like different from the ones I respond to now. So it's fun to get
Mhm.
back. Like there's some fun like, I think underrated episodes that I appreciate more now than I did when I was younger.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
Like when we get to Cop Out, that's like, again, not one I disliked, but like, one I didn't think that much of. But now it's great. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this one. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't have much else to add to it either myself.
Yeah, but basically
So,
overall, like a very if the PTA complained about this one, I understand.
yeah, that's a way to put it.
Like sheesh.
Yeah. But all right, cool. Well, that's gonna do it for Mojo Jonesin then. So that wraps up this week's or whatever this week's episode of the podcast. So as always, just as a reminder for you guys, feel free to leave questions on the comment section of the YouTube video or the Spotify episode. Be sure to check us out on the other platform if the one you're currently listening to us on is inconvenient. RJ is never going to put this on Apple Music, so don't even count on it anymore. He's not going to do it. Okay, he didn't even rebut that. So, okay, that just confirmed it. That being said, next week we're going to be talking about the season 2 finale, or in the next 2 weeks, because I'm releasing these bi-weekly, we're going to talk about the season 2 finale, which consists of Something's Amiss and Slumbering with the Enemy. Season 2, episode 13. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. As always, feel free to check me out on YouTube. My season 2 video is out. You can also watch my season 1 video, and be sure to check out the future episodes that I'll be making videos on when the time comes for those seasons, as well as stick around for all of our future episodes as well, as we continue to dive into season 3, 4, 5, and 6 of the Powerpuff Girls, among other things. RJ, is there anything you would like to plug before we wrap this up?
Nah. End it.
No? Okay. All right. Well, then, yeah. Like I said, tune in next time for the season 2 finale. And until then, we will see you guys later.
Yes, sir.
So once again, psych. So once again, the day is, was, and forever will be saved. Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. I'm never going to drive over 55 again.